Welcome to the Real Estate Investors Marketing Show, where we help real estate investors gain more leads, stronger relationships, and more deals through the power of online marketing. I'm Lindsay Phillips, your content coach and expert on all things content marketing for entrepreneurs and real estate investors. And with me, of course, I have...
Me.
Yay!
I'm Aaron Hughes, a real estate investor and the world's only exclusive real estate investing copywriter.
Awesome. And today we're going to talk about social media platforms, do's and don'ts. Oh man, I've been talking to a lot of new real estate investors in the past few weeks that are starting up their websites and their social media platforms. And this is always such a huge topic. They just don't know where to start, which is okay. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah, it's you're right. We have all been there, and I actually don't envy people starting today because when I started, there was like one thing, right? It was like Facebook wasn't around, and Twitter wasn't around.
Oh, you're dating yourself.
Like, it was just LinkedIn. Yeah, I know. It was just LinkedIn, and then slowly over time, the other ones added on. And so you kind of like you grow with them organically. But someone jumping in today, they're like, "Well, what platform should I be on?"
I know.
Should I be on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter and
Snapchat.
TikTok and Snapchat and
it's overwhelming.
What about Google Plus?
Yep, that's gone now. Oh, and there was Periscope is still kind of around, and there was another one. Yeah, I know. And then there was another one that got shut down right when Periscope was really big. I can't remember the name of it now. It'll come to me eventually. But yeah, there have been some that have come and gone, that's for sure. And what's Twitch? I have no idea what the hell Twitch is. I've heard of that one too.
Isn't that where like you watch other people play video games? Is that it?
Really? I have no idea. I've just seen like, follow me on Twitch. And I'm like, what? Like, meh.
No. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know what it is.
And I guess in some ways, I never think of them as a social media, but technically, like YouTube and
totally.
blogs are. I think of them more as like content platforms than social media.
Me too.
But
like a host.
But they are.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everyone,
so why don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Which one should people be on? What would you recommend? TikTok is popular. Should I be on TikTok?
Jesus. Not unless you're 11. I don't know. It's funny because to me, I'm like, who's your avatar? Who is your target market? Who are your main clients? If they're, 11, 13-year-old girls, then yeah, be on TikTok. But to me, I'm like, I do not know any adults my age or like anywhere between 30 and 50 that are on TikTok. Like, do you know anyone that's on TikTok that's not 11-year-old?
No, I don't know anyone 11 years old.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm not on TikTok, and I don't.
Like,
I don't know anyone who is or who isn't.
Oh God, my daughter is on it constantly, and all her friends. So it's like, if your avatar is on there, fly at her. If you're, want to be an Instagram star kind of a thing, then sure. If you're a musician, maybe. But I say that and I jest. But I have seen a couple of major coaches, and I'm not going to name names, but I have seen them talk on social media, on Facebook, saying that they are diving in. They are checking it out. They are, for their coaching business for adults, going to market on TikTok. So I'm going to follow it and see what happens because I'm very intrigued. But basically, you want to be where your people are at. If you have your business, your people have no idea what Snapchat is, or they're not in LinkedIn and they're only on Twitter and Facebook, then go there. If your audience is not on Instagram, and then don't invest your time and effort. And you know what too is like, if you're starting out, start with one or two. Really focus on building up your audience and people to like your page and communicate and what have you, and then build out from there. Don't feel like you need to do all at once because it will be overwhelming.
That's a really good insight, and I think a lot of people that I talk to feel they need to be on a whole bunch of them, and they end up spreading themselves too thin and not building an audience. And it really does come down to that, is building your audience.
Yeah. Absolutely. And And really, like Instagram and Facebook has made it even more confusing because not only do you have to post in the news feed, but now you got to like do friggin' stories as well. And then, Instagram has IGTV for the videos. I'm like, it's like 3 platforms in one. It's like, holy Hannah Batman. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. So which one do you like? What do you like about some of the main platforms, say Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn? Let's pick those. What do you like about
I do not like LinkedIn. I just visually have a hard time dealing with it because I just meh. I do like Twitter because it's like it's quick, it's instant, to the point. Like it's not a big long wordy preamble. It's easy for me. I get when I put effort into it, I get a lot of good followers and direct messages and stuff. Instagram, I'm getting better at. I have to say, it's not my it's not my fave. I don't go there. And Facebook, I'm always on Facebook for sure. I just find it easier to communicate, and maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know. I just find it easier.
Yeah, I was off of LinkedIn for a long time. I mean, I had an account. I just never bothered on it because I was basically getting. It was mainly like what recruiters would use to try to recruit me to work for someone. I'm like, thanks. I'm already comfortably employed. I don't need another job. But I think it's really kind of coming back in an interesting way. Has come back, I guess, not coming back. And so that's kind of neat. And I think for our listeners who are real estate investors,
absolutely,
if they're looking for cash buyers, I would guess that there probably are. It's a professional network. You could find a lot of cash buyers on LinkedIn.
And Facebook, I like that LinkedIn and Facebook have groups, so you can find your avatar easier and communicate with like people. That I find.
Yeah, I suck at groups on LinkedIn, but groups on Facebook, man, that is a treasure trove of opportunities. Now, some groups will let you post deals, but you can do a lot of, if you are looking for cash buyers or even motivated sellers, you can find all kinds of great deals in Facebook Marketplace, in some groups. Don't just look in real estate investing groups. I would look in, like a local buy and sell type of group where someone like a landlord, a desperate landlord, or a homeowner who's like trying to unload their house. They might be more likely to post in those groups than like a real estate investing group. But lots of opportunities there. And Instagram, I really like for investors on the buyer side, not as much on the seller side. But on the buyer side, like I'd make a post, and hashtags, I think, are such a great opportunity for Instagram. So I would like hashtag real estate investing, hashtag whatever, like your local, the term for your local city or whatever. We use our airport code here, like YQR is the city I live in. That's the airport code. So everything YQR is like use hashtag YQR. So so that's kind of a really big hashtag in our in my city. So if I were to post something in my city for real estate investors, I would like hashtag real estate investing, hashtag YQR, and but whatever, wherever you happen to live, you might have they might use just the name of your town.
Yeah, totally. So and that's a great way of
great things for real estate investors.
No, that's a great tip.
I haven't, to be honest, I like the theory of Twitter. I have never met a real estate investor who has done deals on Twitter or had conversations on, meaningful conversations on Twitter. Maybe they start on Twitter and go somewhere else. True. But and so, so I hope there are listeners out there who are having amazing success with Twitter.
Yeah, let us know.
Just as a disclaimer, I have not had not seen a lot of that happening.
Yeah. I do find I have more conversations on Facebook for sure.
Yeah, me too. For both sellers and buyers, I think are some are good opportunities on Facebook. Okay, sorry, I was getting distracted there on some of those. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about. Let's get some of your expertise here. Let's talk about branding. How do we brand well on social media, and does it matter? And how do we be consistent?
I know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like if you're on someone's website and then all of a sudden you click on their Facebook group or their Facebook page and it looks like something completely different, or like the image on there is like them sunbathing with their kids, and it's like you're like, where the hell did I just end up? It like has nothing to do with the website or the professional being at all. That drives me nuts. So the branding, the imagery, the tagline, the content needs to be consistent with your website and who you're attracting. So you do need to pay attention to those images so that you don't want to disconnect, because otherwise if I'm going to be confused, then other people are going to be confused.
Yeah, that's really good. And maybe don't quite look at my site and Facebook, because I think I might not be taking your excellent advice right now. It's because, yeah, I know. And I'm going to give an excuse, but no, there is no excuse. You're absolutely right. So I was in the middle of redesigning my website, and I really liked my Facebook, and anyway, they don't match right now.
It's okay.
So do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah, I know, right? Kind of like what I tell my kids.
Okay, so you're working on your branding, and that presumably means like your images and tagline and cover photos and that kind of thing. What about what you say in your profile? Do you have any advice for us on?
Oh man, yes. So many times I've gone to people's Facebook's pages, profiles, and it's got no information. I'm like, what the bacon, people? Like, you need to have your contact information. You need to have your websites, and people need to know how you're going to help them. And sometimes I find the profile is more like, I've done this and I've got this credential and that credential. It's like, no offense, but people don't really care. They want to know, yeah, it's good to have the credibility, but you need to write it and frame it in a way where it's like, here's how I'm going to help you. You have to write it in that person's eyes. Actually, I have a writer right now that wrote copy for a real estate investor's website, and they are writing the bio, a big one, a long one, because every platform's a little bit different. So you need a long one and a short one that's concise so that people know that they are in the right place. And look at all the spots in a profile. There's like description, like your profile, your title, your email, there's so many things. Like, look them all through and fill them out, especially LinkedIn. LinkedIn has so many sections for their profiles. You can add in media. You can showcase your articles that you've written. You can direct people to so many different pages and services, endorsements, showcase your credentials, awards. Like, really take the time to go through each profile and just think of it as, yes, you have to toot your own horn, and that's okay, but look at it from the other person's perspective and make sure it's all filled out.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm just thinking about a few clients, like real estate investing clients, who could, if they fill it out properly, they could use their Facebook profile, public profile, or like Facebook page as their main site where they're kind of conducting business and finding cash buyers, just because they're filling out all the information that a cash buyer might need.
And a Facebook page has a whole bunch of other options. You can add in with plugins. If you have a landing page for like a strategy call, or a landing page for deals that you have or courses or whatever, you can actually have those showcased as one of the tabs that are on your page. They even have a services tab. So you can actually go in there and write a little blurb and add a picture and link to a part of your website to showcase your services. And even on the banner, there's a call to action button that you can have for people to call you, or, get a free blah, 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 or buy your latest book or whatever. So there are a ton of features that are available for pages to really, like you say, make it like a one-stop shop so that they don't have to go anywhere else. They don't have to search for stuff.
Yeah. And so like I get a lot of people asking me about websites. And you should have a website at some point. But if you don't yet have one, this is a great start to at least get your name out there while you're getting your site built. Okay, so then let's talk about. We've talked about kind of building, building the content, the brand on these social media sites. Let's talk about posting stuff. What should we post about?
First of all, you have to actually post, because, man, some people set up a profile or a page and then crickets. They don't do anything. And that's one of the biggest, don'ts. You can't just set it up and forget it. You have to post consistently. And I've told this story before where I've been searching for a company. I go to their Facebook page and they haven't posted in weeks. So I'm like, are they even successful, or are they around? Are they going to help me if something breaks? you need to look like you know what you're doing and share your expertise. And Erin, we did another episode of this podcast all about different social media post ideas. So if they go to smoothbusinessgrowth.com, they can actually find that episode, because we have like a myriad of ideas of things that they could post.
That's really good. I might have to go back there and listen to it again. You're right about making sure you post regularly. Just recently, I was looking to get in touch with their real estate investing club here in town, and I noticed that one of their last posts was from 2018, and I was like, oh, all right, are they even around still? So I reached out to them by Messenger, and I haven't even heard back from them yet. So, the little symbol that shows you whether they've even seen your message hasn't kind of been checked out.
I know. So that's not cool. I guess they're
not around anymore.
No, and then you're like, see ya. Next.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
Exactly.
And if you stopped using a platform, like, deactivate it.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's
if
good.
you had LinkedIn, but you're like, oh, I just want to focus on Facebook or whatever, like, deactivate it, because it's not doing you any justice just hanging out for someone to find and go, oh, snap.
Yeah, no content is better than old content.
Or just have content. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're right. There's no excuse.
Well, this podcast took a turn. All right. I had forgotten that we talked about some social media post ideas as another one. So let's see here. I was going to ask you a few other things, but we may have already covered them.
That's all right. I have one more tip.
Yeah, good. Give us another tip.
That you can have call to actions on your social media. I mentioned one, right, where it's in the banner, and you could actually set up it to have like a button to like call you or sign up for stuff. There's that whole services section on the page tabs, making sure that you can even in your description say, hey, go here for a free this, that, or the other. And obviously your social media posts, you can always have call to actions. For them to DM you, to comment, to listen, to go to your website, to do whatever.
That's really good. And then that reminded me, what about images? Should you post images? How often?
Oh, yeah.
Should you, what about like text plus image? What would you recommend?
You know what gets the most action for a lot of my clients, and especially some real estate ones? When you start typing in a question or something, and like that color appears in Facebook, and it's like you can have the one with the hearts or the flames or the hands or the, that like wallpaper that's right behind it. For whatever reason, those kinds of posts, oh man, they get so much action. I think because of the sheer vibrancy of the colors that they have, they get people's attention. So even if because it's just like an engagement post, right? Asking a quick question or making a comment, those get so many hits, but not that that's an image, but I find they're really useful. Images for sure. Brand some of them you can get from, I know you were talking earlier today about Pixabay really upping up their game in regards to having a lot of great selection. But you can't really just go take a picture willy-nilly on Google and use it. You know what, Erin? It's actually not so bad on social because everyone shares everything all the time. But you can't use images on your website. That's when they'll snag you and you'll get a nasty copyright email. Getty images, they'll get you.
Will they?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're speaking from experience here. I'm really because I write so much, I'm very sensitive to copyright and don't want people, stealing my work. And so then I get edgy when I see other people kind of posting images and stuff. So I would recommend to everybody to make sure you're using or copywritten or like work that has you're using the copyright really. So going to Pixabay and grabbing an image from there is a great, safe thing to do because you are allowed to use it for commercial or non-commercial use, attribution. So that's kind of the key you should be looking for.
That's true. Unsplash is another one, and Pexels, Pexels. I don't like them as much, but and I use Canva all the time, so they have like a wicked pool of images. And when in doubt, use an awesome GIF from Facebook because they're hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. They are.
They're so good.
Why don't you tell us about Canva? Because maybe not everyone knows about them.
So Canva is a graphic and video, I guess, creation tool. So you can add superimposed text on top of images, color blocks, make sure that it's branded to your website. You can even animate them, import images. It's just like this awesome editing tool. And then you can easily click a button and resize them to Instagram story because LinkedIn has a different size than Twitter that has a different size than, it's just painful but true. But at least it makes it easy to size it to the platform that you're using.
And Canva is online, unlike being like a desktop type of application. So that makes it really convenient, and it's mobile friendly, so you can do the work on your phone if you happen to be at the beach or doing whatever. Yeah.
And my biggest do is just be active and don't just let it all be about your own profile. Check out other people, comment on their posts and share their posts and have conversations.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. If there's a theme that I have been saying lately, that is it. And the theme is if you want other people to treat you in a certain way, then you need to be treating other people in a certain way. And that's not just true for being nice to people. It's true about giving testimonials and how you interact on social media. So I get lots of people who are like, I don't get any testimonials. So then I say, how many testimonials have you given? They're like, well, none. Okay, so why don't we start there? Before you can expect testimonials from other people, why don't you start getting testimonials? The same with social media. This is what reminded me of this. Oh no, I'm ranting again. But the same with social media, and that is if you want other people to share your stuff, well, guess what? You should start sharing other people's stuff as well. Create a culture of sharing in your own site, and so that you'll be more likely to encourage other people to share your stuff. So,
and plus, when you're posting or when you're commenting, liking, and sharing other people's stuff, you're more likely to show up in their feed, and then they're going to get comment, and then it's going to boost your algorithm within Facebook and their stupid rules. And it just, I find when I finally spend time in Facebook and I actually comment on people's stuff and what have you, it always comes back to me, and I find that there's a flood on my side over the next few days. And if you keep that going, it's just it snowballs, right? Like dominoes.
Yeah, that's really good. And on that note, let's answer one last question, and that would be, how can people make sure that they're consistently posting? Since consistency is so important, how can someone make sure they're consistently posting?
Hire me. Just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Aaron and Lindsay's podcast show.
Too funny. Get on a schedule, and then also if you repurpose the content that you have and take little quotes and bits and pieces out of it, and don't be afraid to share other people's content and articles that you've read and enjoyed, and just talk about your day, and just you have to schedule it in your calendar. If you don't, it'll never get done. Or we do have done for you content marketing services, which is of course reimarketingexperts.com/services. Yeah, if they want to completely take it off their plate, it is doable. Or hire a VA. It's all good.
Yeah.
But really hire us.
That was a great answer, and that was not even what I was fishing for. I was just thinking hey, create a spreadsheet and post your content there. But nice way to weave in the services.
Why, thank you. See, that was another episode that we had on call to actions, and I just weaved a call to action.
Nice. I love it.
Ba-bam! And on that note, I think that is a wrap of today's The Real Estate Investors Marketing Show. You got a ton of tips, but you can go get more if you join our Real Estate Investors Marketing group in Facebook, because we share a ton of strategies, tools, and tips and trainings to grow your real estate investing business. So in case we haven't thrown out enough URLs for you on this episode, here's one more. It's reimarketinggroup.com to head to the Facebook group.
Yeah, go there now.
Darn it. Awesome. All right. Peace out, people.
See you later.
Bye.